Good day guys, today I'm going to show you how to draw Skull Trooper from Fortnite. You're going to need a pencil, paper, an eraser and a Sharpie. Let's go! So as always we're going to start with the head. So let's start from the very top. We're going to draw a line that curves to the left, just gently with your pencil now, and comes down. And now for the jaw, we're just going to bring it back in. So it's looking a little bit like almost like a gem shape, okay? Here's the chin, just going to flatten it off at the chin a little bit, but then go back up, and we're just going to mirror exactly what we've drawn. You can start from the top again if you like, if you find it easier, but we're just drawing the same shape that kind of curls down. It's a little bit flat at the sides, and then we've got an awesome head shape, okay? So now I'm going to draw the mask that sits around his head. So starting just near this jawline here, I'm going to draw a line that goes up, curves across like this, and then it just kind of swoops up over the head, just a slight curve here. Okay. And then again we're just going to do the reverse of what we did on the right side. We're going to go down and then join in at the jaw here. Now time for the eyes, might as well get the eyes in. So I'm going to draw a kind of a fierce expression, so let's draw the brow angled like this, okay? These are going to be essentially the eyebrows. And when we tilt them like this, it shows that he's looking kind of angry, it looks like he means business. So now some big eyes, starting about 3/4 of the way along the brow. I'm going to draw the eye curving out, back in, and then a pupil on the inside, okay? And again, we're just going to draw the same, but on the other side. So again, we just curve down, and then come across, and then a pupil on the inside. It's like a reflection of itself. So I've got two big eyes. Let's draw the nose. Now the nose on Skull Trooper, because it's painted black, we can just draw it like a kind of like a blob like this, almost like a triangle with the bottom pulled down a bit. Okay, now I'm going to draw in a slightly smiling mouth, like he's got a menacing look, like he's up to no good. Okay, and we're going to draw some patterns in on the face now, because the face has lots of really cool skeleton style patterns on. So we'll start with the easy one. We'll start with the cheeks. So coming away here, and then down. Okay, it's like an arrow that points in, kind of pointing towards the space between the nose and the mouth. Alright, now we'll do the ones around the mouth. So there's a triangle on this side of his mouth. Okay, don't join the lines up with the mouth just yet, because we need to draw in the skeleton's teeth. Okay, and then we'll just draw a line that comes across, just along the line of the mouth, and then we're just going to draw in some teeth. So I'm going to start with the middle. I'm going to draw a line right down the middle, because that's kind of how your teeth look like in person, and then we'll just fill in the rest until we get to the end. Okay, there's no teeth in these bits here. These bits are going to be shaded black later, but I'm just going to leave that for now. Now for the last of the patterns, there's a little bit here, up in the corner of the head, and then around the eyes. This bit's quite tricky, so stay with me. So we just kind of follow up over the brow. When we get to the end, follow the pattern of the eye, but then as you go underneath it, you want to make it a little bit pointy like that, okay? I'll do the reverse on the other side. So pointy, around, up to the edge of the brow, and then we're just going to draw along it like that, okay? I'm just going to draw a couple of lines here, like frown lines, and then we can move on to the rest of the body. Oh, don't forget the seam in the top of the hat. There's a line here, and I'm just going to wrinkle it a little bit, okay? Right, we're done with the head for now, so I'm going to draw in a scarf, just some curvy lines that go out where the neck is, and I'm just going to end the line here, because there's a big bag strap that goes along here, so one more lump for the scarf here, but as I do that, I'm going to bring it down across where his chest is going to be, okay? So just along the shoulder a little bit, and I'm going to bring another line down, but I'm going to stop here because on this costume there's a couple of what seem to be price tags just on the strap here. So I'm just going to interrupt the line there. Don't worry if you kept going because you are working with a pencil and you can slow the video down any way you want to. Let's just draw in the rest of the torso. So a line coming down here and a line coming down here beneath the strap. There's a pouch right at the very end of this back strap. So let's just draw in a little box and a bigger box underneath it. And then just next to it, a much taller but thinner box. And that gives us a 3D effect of a pouch that's sat on his waist. Okay? Now, he's wearing 2 belts. So we're going to come across right from where we finished, just drawing a straight line across to the other side of the torso. And join it up with a line. And then we'll do the same again, because remember he's wearing 2 belts, one on top of the other. We're just going to draw a line down. Let's just draw a buckle in. The buckle is in the middle of each belt. I find that the belt on top is a little bit bigger, the buckle, sorry, is a little bit bigger than the one underneath it. So I'm just drawing a smaller buckle on that one, okay? Now, time for the legs. So underneath this pouch here, I'm going to draw the trousers quite baggy, because they do look very baggy on the Skull Trooper costume. So I'm just kind of making wiggly lines here. When you get to this point, we need to draw the shin pad. So a line going across like that. It's almost like a square, but the top edges have been squished in, okay? So a little bit like this. Might be a bit tricky to get the shape right, but give it a few goes and focus on getting that right. And then down for the rest of the shin pad. Try and get it to angle in just a little bit. And now there's a guard right over his foot. So a box here, like that. And then you go across a little bit. Okay, and that's going to be sat on his foot. So make sure all your lines join up there. And I'm just going to draw in the edge of the foot where the toes are. And then curve around underneath. A nice flat line there. And then up for the rest of his boot. We'll stop there because we need to start drawing the rest of the trousers. So I'm just going to come across, keep them wavy looking, keep them really baggy looking, because they're really baggy trousers. When you get to here, we're just going to draw a line across for the bottom of the torso where the legs join up. And again, we're just going to draw another leg. We're just going to keep it nice and baggy, keep it wavy, and when you get to about this point here, we need to draw another shin pad. Okay, got to get that practice in for those shin pads. So again, it's like a square. Let's have the top just squished in a little bit, like a trapezium. And then a couple of lines going down, maybe a slight angle on them. And now for the guard on top of the foot, so it's another square. Then a couple of lines that go across. And now time for the toes, so we'll just draw the toes in. So a curve that goes out, but then it's really flat underneath. Bring it up, and make sure it meets with the bottom of where you drew the wrinkly trousers. Now we can just finish off the trousers, so I'll start from the hip. I find it easier to work down than to work up, especially when I'm working on paper. And we'll just keep it nice and wobbly, maybe add in a few more creases. I'm just going to crease the trousers here a bit, maybe a line on this leg here. That's up to you, you can crease them any way you like, any way that looks right. And now I'm going to draw in the arms. So coming away from underneath the scarf, that's why I drew the scarf sticking out of it. I'm going to draw a curve that comes down. I'm going to end the curve about here. And then draw across. And just draw another curve, much like the first one. Okay, this is the arm. We haven't drawn the hand yet, but we're going to do that right now. So because he's looking angry, I think it would look right if I draw him with a closed fist. So let's go with that. There is a link in the corner now to show you tutorials for how to draw a closed fist. So if you get stuck here, don't worry, there's a tutorial right there that you can use to teach you to draw a closed fist. But for now, just try and copy what I've done here. So you've got 3 curls like this, and then 1 more curl at the end for the thumb. To finish off the glove, we're just going to draw a little rectangle inside. Now guess what? We have to do the same for the other side. So again, let's just curve a line down, and then draw across for the wrist. This is where the glove starts, and then just underneath the bag strap, because the bag strap is going to be sitting on his shoulder, let's draw another line down. Now again, we're going to draw a fist, and all you do is you just curl out, and then 1, 2, 3 curls. He's a cartoon character, so I'm only going to draw 3 fingers, okay? And then a box here for the outside of the glove. Now, the arms aren't exactly the same. This arm over here actually has a little bit of a wrinkle here because he seems to be wearing a little bit of cloth there, okay? So all I've done there is I've drawn a line across and then a couple of creases near the top that don't quite make it across to the other side. Now, I'd say this is the tricky part coming up. We've got to draw in the pattern of the bones on his torso. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it just a little bit better. We don't really need the head anymore, so I'm going to focus on the torso. So let's start from the middle. I'm going to start here. So I'm going to draw a line down, and you can actually draw this over the bag strap because it's painted on the bag strap. And it's a line that comes down like this. Ignore the price tags. Okay, so it's just a line that comes down. That's the spinal cord. And then we're going to draw in the ribs. So there's going to be one rib here, curls up towards the shoulder. One rib here. And again, I can actually draw this over the bag strap a little bit because on the actual skin, it is painted over the bag strap. So another rib there. And another rib there. Okay, and the same on the other side. So rib here. Try and give it that sort of zigzaggy look. It just looks really toony and more interesting. Okay, another line down. Just focus on this and make sure you get it looking the way you want it to look. Feel free to take your time on it because it can be quite tricky to get it just right. And then there's a couple of square looking bones here that connect with the belt. We've got one more rib to draw in actually, just one more here. A smaller one that goes off the edge. Do the same on the other side. Okay, and now the bone pattern continues onto the arms. So there's a big blob here. And we draw a line down, a thinner line that ends just about where that glove thing starts. Not quite the glove, but I'm not sure what to call this. It's like a wrinkly bit of cloth. But it doesn't quite get that far. And then we're going to draw a bone here. And a bone here. And again, we're going to do the same on the other side. It looks a little bit like a thermometer, this bone here. The blob on the end and then a longer stick. So remember, there's 2 bones here that link up with that one bone. 1, 2. And finally, here's the last leg of our exercise. We're going to draw in the bone pattern on the legs. So there's just a couple of lines coming down like this. It's got a funny shape. Okay, try and replicate that as best as you can. Almost looking like a pair of guns, actually. This is the pelvis. There's also a marking here. Okay, take your time on that. And then there's a mark that comes up this way from the shin pad and down. The same on the other side. We're going to come up from the shin pad. It looks a bit like the head of a guitar. There's a couple of lumps. There's a lump here and a lump there. And then there's a couple on the shin pad itself. So 1, 2. And the same on the other side. 1, 2. There's your latest, most awesome drawing yet. Have you got any suggestions? Leave me a comment below if there's something you'd like me to teach you to draw. In the meantime, click the link in the corner now to learn how to draw Dyer the werewolf. If you want to continue to learn to draw the quick and easy way, then subscribe to ensure you never miss another tutorial.